Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Tonight's video is one that I am extremely excited for. It's going to be my top 10 NRL games that I'm most excited for the 2021 NRL season, which does begin in 48 days, by the way, and I am very excited. Now, I was looking through the NRL draw for the 2021 NRL season, and I'm looking at it, and there are so many great games that I'm looking forward to. You know, you got your rivalry rounds, you've got your payback rounds, I guess you could say. If you got beat by a certain team in the finals last year and you want to get payback, I guess you're looking forward to that. But so many fans and so many supporters have their personal favourite games that they're looking forward to the most, and I do as well. So I thought I'd put together a top 10, and I'll let you guys know my top 10 NRL games that I'm most excited for 2021. I could have easily done a top 20, top 30, but I decided to go with a top 10. So, there might be a few Cowboys games in here because I'm a Cowboys supporter and I can't help it. I've got to have some Cowboys games in here because they're my favourite club, and sometimes I just got to have them in there somewhere. But anyway, guys, let's go through it. So my top 10. Now, it is a top 10, but really, I don't really care about the order. It's just the list that I've come up with, and we're going to go from number 10 to number 1, and let's just get straight into it. I'm really excited for the 2021 NRL season. 48 days away. Come on, the NRL. So excited. Righto. So let's go from number 10 to number 1, and then we'll go through it. So number 10, the 10th most game that I'm excited for 2021 is the Raiders versus Eels in round 6 on the Saturday night at 7:30 at GIO Stadium in Canberra. Now, look, Raiders versus Parramatta. Raiders and Parramatta both have pretty big expectations. Both sides are expected to have a good season. Parramatta have not won in Canberra for about 15 years. Some sort of ridiculous record. I want to see, can Parramatta go down to Canberra and break the hoodoo, or will the Raiders streak against Parramatta in Canberra continue? I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm very excited to see this game. Jack Whiten versus Dylan Brown. Junior Paulo versus Josh Papali. There are so many quality matchups in this matchup. Clint Gutherson versus Charles Nicoll-Klokstad. Last year, Raiders versus Eels, it went to Golden Point. Parramatta led 24-12 at Bankwest. 3 minutes to go. And then Nicoll-Klokstad scored, excuse me, I got the bloody hiccups. Nicoll-Klokstad scored 2 tries in like 3 minutes or something. 24 all. Gutherson kicks a field goal. I want to see if Parramatta can go down to Canberra and beat Canberra in Canberra. I can't wait for this game. It's number 10 on the list. I'm excited for that one. Number 9 on the list is one that's a bit biased. It's the Cowboys versus the Dragons in round 2 up at Queensland Country Bank Stadium on the Saturday night at 7:30. Now, it's me versus my dad. As you guys would have seen, I've done a few live streams on YouTube before when NRL games are on. My dad's a passionate Dragon supporter. And you would have saw on Instagram, some of his reactions to when the Dragons win. And me versus my dad, it's a little bit of a rivalry between me and Dad. When it's Cowboys-Dragons, it's always a big occasion in my house. So I'm excited for Cowboys-Dragons. We play them twice this year, but, we beat the Dragons last year in Golden Point up there in Townsville, and we're playing them in round 2 in Townsville. It's also the Cowboys' first home game of the season, so I'm excited for that. So Cowboys-Dragons, me versus Dad, our little rivalry. Dragons want payback. Cowboys want to win. First home game of the year. Can't wait for it. It's number 9 on the list. Number 8 on the list is the traditional Anzac Day game between the Roosters and the Dragons in round 7 at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Anzac Day, Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock game. It's a big rivalry. Roosters and Dragons goes back a long way. Two clubs that can't stand each other. Anzac Day game I've always rated as one of the biggest days on the calendar year for rugby league, and especially in the NRL. So Roosters versus Dragons. The Roosters won it last year in a really good game. I'm looking forward to this. Can the Dragons win back the Anzac Day Shield, I guess, whatever it's called? But I can't wait for it. Roosters versus Dragons. It's number 8 on the list, and I'm really excited for the Anzac game between those two. Number 7 on the list is the Storm versus the Roosters in round 6 at AAMI Park on the Friday night at 7:50. Now, Melbourne versus the Roosters was one of the best games of the season in 2020. I rated it as the best game of last year. It had an unbelievable game, especially the one up at Suncorp Stadium where I went to Golden Point. There was a field goal, then there was a field goal, and then it went to Golden Point. Unfortunately, it was ended by a penalty goal, but Melbourne versus Roosters, Two quality teams, always playing very hard against each other. I wouldn't say it's a rivalry or anything like that, but when Melbourne play the Roosters, you're going to get a great game. Two quality outfits with a lot of quality players. I can't wait for Melbourne versus Roosters. It's always a great game to watch, and two big teams going at it. So Melbourne versus Roosters, it is number 7 on my list. I can't wait for that game in round 6. Number 6 on the list is the second biggest rivalry in rugby league. It is the Bulldogs versus the Eels in round 8 at ANZ Stadium. Saturday night game at 5:30. Now, this game should be a Thursday or a Friday night game in my opinion. Even a Sunday afternoon would be good. I think putting Bulldogs and Eels on a Saturday at 5:30 is a bit disrespectful to such a big rivalry with a lot of history. I feel like this game should be on a Friday night or Sunday afternoon, but I can't wait for it anyway. Bulldogs, Eels, the second biggest rivalry in rugby league. You know, both these teams go back a long way. Both these teams can't stand each other. They hate each other's guts. You know, I just love when the Bulldogs play the Eels, especially at ANZ Stadium. You know, it used to be a big crowd, but obviously that doesn't happen anymore. But Bulldogs, Eels, huge game. Regardless of how these teams are going on the ladder, it's always a big game. So Bulldogs and Eels, cannot wait for it. And it is number 6 on the list. Can't wait for that game in round 8. Now let's get into the top 5. Now, the top 5. Now, this is very tough, the top 5. You could literally switch any of these games in any order you wanted to because I love all these games. I can't wait for them all. But let's get into the top 5. Number 5, it's the Eels versus the Cowboys in round 23 at Bankwest Stadium on the Saturday night at 7:30. Now, the reason why this game's on the list is because it's the Cowboys and the Eels at Bankwest. The Cowboys have only played once at Bankwest. That was last year. And Parramatta absolutely annihilated us. I think Seaway scored 4 tries or something. Now, look, I've got a lot of friends who are Parramatta fans, you know, the likes of Entertain House, Rugby League History. You know, I've got so many friends who are Parramatta supporters, and, you know, me versus Rugby League History and Entertain House, and, you know, Luther King, he's been on the channel plenty of times. You know, Eels and Cowboys, it's a little bit of a rivalry between me and Entertain House and Rugby League History and Luther King. You know, a lot of my people that are subscribed to my channel are Parramatta fans, so it's always a big game, Eels and Cowboys, in my books when it's me up against Entertain House and Rugby League History and Luther King. I can't wait for this game. The Cowboys want revenge from losing to at Bankwest last year. Will we get it? It remains to be seen, but it's a long way away, that game, but I cannot wait for that game between the Eels and the Cowboys in round 23. Number 4 on the list is the grand final rematch between the Panthers and the Storm in round 3 on the Thursday night at Panthers Stadium at 7:50. You know, grand final rematches are always going to be in my top 5, considering last year Melbourne blew Penrith off the park in that grand final. Penrith came back late. They showed some guts. They came back. They fell short in the end, but the Panthers will want payback from that grand final. You know, a Thursday night game in round 3 at Panthers Stadium, probably be a sellout, and the Panthers want revenge. Can the Big Chin Cleary get the Panthers over the line against the Melbourne Storm, or will the class of Cameron Munster lead Melbourne to another win over Penrith? I can't wait for that game in round 3. It's going to be fantastic. It's number 4 on the list. Number 3 on the list is in round 3 as well. It is the Rabbitohs versus the Roosters, the biggest rivalry in rugby league. Rabbitohs and Roosters in round 3 at ANZ Stadium on the Friday night at 7:50. The biggest rivalry in rugby league goes all the way back to 1908. Souths versus East, or what they know now as Sydney Roosters. So Rabbitohs, Roosters, the biggest rivalry in rugby league. I love when these two go at each other. Souths will want payback too. You know, go back to round 20 last year. Souths beat the Roosters 60-8. They blew them off the park. They absolutely destroyed them. It was unbelievable. The Roosters will want payback from that. They won't forget that. They'll take that personally. And this game's in round 3, Friday night, ANZ Stadium. If the virus isn't that bad, I expect about 50,000 at this game if the outbreak isn't bad and if the crowds are allowed to be big. But Rabbitohs, Roosters, biggest rivalry in rugby league. Can't wait for this game. And it is number 3 on the list. Number 2 on the list is the third biggest rivalry in rugby league, in my opinion. The Cowboys versus the Broncos in round 9. Saturday night up in Townsville at 7:30. Cowboys and Broncos haven't played a Saturday night game against each other probably since the finals in 2012 or 2014, I think it was. But in regular season, I think it's like 2004 or something. It's a long time since we played Brisbane on a Saturday night up in Townsville. You know, round 1 last year, the Cowboys and the Broncos played up in Townsville. The Cowboys will open up the new stadium, and the Broncos, they blew us off the park and they beat us, and that was pretty embarrassing. And obviously, we got a little bit of payback in the final round, beating them at Suncorp. But you know, the ultimate payback is in round 9. We play them in Townsville. If the Broncos beat us twice in Townsville, 2-0 at our new ground, that'll piss me off. I'll be pretty upset. I won't be happy about it. And I want to see the Cowboys win that. So number 2 on the list is Cowboys and Broncos in round 9. Can't wait for it. And number 1 on the list is one that might surprise you guys. Magic Round. Magic Round is my number 1 most exciting game, or I guess you could say game or round, for 2021. A couple of reasons. I will be at Magic Round. I will be at every single game. I'll be vlogging every single game. It's going to be huge. I can't wait. I'm hoping to meet up with a couple of rugby league YouTubers. I'm hoping anyway, depending on the outbreak and the virus that's going on in the world. Magic Round's going to be fantastic now. Obviously, it was postponed last year because of the virus, but let me tell you some of the games that I'm excited for Magic Round. I mean, just going on the app right now. Where are we? Round 10. I mean, Tigers and Knights, 2 entertaining sides. Could be a good game. Manly versus Brisbane should be a decent game on the Friday night. And then you've got Super Saturday. Canterbury versus Canberra should be very interesting. Cronulla versus South, another great game. Roosters versus Cowboys, I can't wait for that one. Roosters Cowboys, I'm excited for that one probably the most, to be honest. Sunday, you got the Warriors and the Eels. That should be a very good game. Melbourne and St. George should be an entertaining game. And then you got the bloody snooze fest between the Gold Coast and Penrith. You know, you got Ash Fowler versus Nathan Chin Cleary. I mean, what a fantastic round we got. Magic Round. I can't wait for Magic Round. So number 1 on the list is Magic Round. I'll be there. I can't wait for it. And yeah, that's my favourite game and favourite round, I guess you could say. But anyway, guys, that's my top 10 NRL games that I'm most excited for the 2021 NRL season. Let me know your top 10 games that you're most looking forward to for this season. Now, like I said, we're 48 days away from the season kicking off. I cannot wait. But anyway, guys, I'm getting out of here. If you enjoyed tonight's video, make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so. There'll be a link in the description below for that. And also, if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you do. There'll be a link in the description below as well for that as well. Anyway, guys, I'm getting out of here. Have a fantastic Friday night. Hope you guys enjoy yourselves. I'm getting out of here. Thanks for watching this video, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one.